Hello everybody, this is Coach Tara from TaraVapeZ coming to you today with my review of the IPV3 from Pioneer for You. I actually won this. I did not buy this. I won this in a contest from VSpot Vapes. Super freaking stoked. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this right now. Me winning it and getting it for free does not affect how I feel about this item. I'm going to talk about this from my perspective. I've never had a box mod before, nor have I had any power before outside of a 20 watt. Well, that's not true. This is considered a box mod. To me, I find it more a disposable battery with higher wattage control. Okay? I love my little iStick, but that's as far as it gets. I vape this at 12 watts max. Okay? Got that? This here, though, on the other hand, is for more advanced users, okay? This can go up to 150 watts. That doesn't mean that you should be going up to 150 watts. It means that according to the atomizer that you have on the top, you can adjust your wattages to have a customized vape, okay? I'm not going to get into up close and personal on this. I'm going to share other people's videos, including the VSpot Vape video, their review on this product, to show you the up close and personal. You will find that the back here is screwed in. The original screws that come on it are hex screws. I'm not sure if it's just me. This was a gently used. This is exactly the same IPV3 that you're going to see in VSpot Vape's review. Okay, exactly the same one they used for that review. Okay, I'm going to go into my battery section here because I have some of the tools that I have. This particular unit comes with, you're going to get a hex screwdriver. That's not a Phillips, it's a hex screwdriver, and you're going to get additional screws. Can you see them? Little tiny things that do have a Phillips head. Some people prefer that. I've seen numerous reviews where people immediately, the first time they put the screwdriver to this hex, totally like ruined the threading and stripped it. That has not happened for me yet. I've been treating it as if I spent every dollar on this. Okay, so I've been very gentle with it. What else here? Let me see. You need to make sure that you have 18 650 batteries. You have to be sure they're not clones. You have to be sure they are 30 amps. Don't get anything cheap with that. The guys Josh and Joel are so awesome. They actually sent me fully charged batteries to go with it, so I wouldn't have to worry. I also purchased, in addition to that, that's another thing. That's going to be a whole nother review, I guess. I'm going to try and do vendor reviews as well. I purchased some EFESs, okay? 35 amp, 18 650s. So now I have one set charged, one set in here. I use this every evening as kind of like my chain vape sub-ohm. I have the Atlantis on here. You may have heard my first week's impressions of the Atlantis. That has nothing to do with my impressions on this guy. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's on. You also have the ability to have memory settings. So for instance, I got here that memory 2 is 30 watts. That's my Atlantis memory. Okay. The next one, I actually have it on 2 memories. I have to change one. Why have them all that way? Memory 3 is 50 watts. I wouldn't be using it with this tank. That would be with an RDA. Okay, that wouldn't be with this tank. That might be 50 watts. You might be able to get away with on the sub tank. My memory 4 is 100 watts. I don't think I'll ever use that. And of course, the final memory is 150 watts. Just because you have it doesn't mean you got to use it, guys. Think about that. I want you to remember safety. This is a lot of power and right and close to your face. Okay, really close to your face. So you want to be sure that you are using good batteries that are the correct high drain rechargeables. Let's see what I can tell you about that right here. High drain rechargeables at 30 amps. Okay, so when you get this, I'm going all over the place, but that's all right, because I'm just telling you my impressions. Mine came with my warranty card, okay? It came with the user rule manual. I think I'm saying user rule manual, so if you look real closely there, I don't know if you're going to be able to, it says user menu. It's not perfect English in here, okay? It's going to give you your output power, which is 7 watts to 150 watts. Voltage, 1 volt to 7 volts. Input current, 1.3 amps to 40 amps. Input voltage, 3.2 volts. Efficiency, 95%. Load resistance, a 0.1 ohm to a 3 ohm cartomizer can go on this. So I've got a lot of room. I could go really super sub ohm and build a 0.2 ohm or a 0.3 ohm build on this. I can also use a 3.0 ohm tank. I've never heard of one of those. Or I can make a build that large. This is a 0.5. It actually reads this tank, and I've heard this before on others, as a 0.6 ohm. I have had no problems with this telling me exactly what it's doing. Let me make sure I'm on the right watts. Okay, so this is telling me it's a 0.6 ohm at 4.3 volts, 30 watts is what's going on here. I have never had it misfire. It fires every single time I press the button. Every single time. I'm a little shell-shocked right now because I had my first coil went on my Atlantis and I didn't expect it to, and I didn't realize. That's yesterday's video. I'll link it somewhere here. Okay, at 7:18, I'll link it somewhere here. You go look at that, because I don't want this review to be about this tank. This review is about this. For a beginner, this is, if you just keep in mind and do your research and make sure you have the correct batteries in it, and make sure that you are not trying to do more than what you have on top of it can do, okay? This here on top cannot do and shouldn't be doing more than 30 to 40. The manufacturer's recommendations for that tank is 30 watts. I'm not going above it. Nope. It has venting holes in case there's some sort of problem. You don't ever want this to vent. Therefore, you're going to buy authentic batteries at the correct amperage, okay? Just, you don't want it to vent. This USB position is not to charge your phone. It's not to plug into your computer to charge. That's not how it's done. This particular guy here, let me pull this out next. The box is awesome. Okay, comes with everything. There's my authenticity sticker. And this USB cable that comes inside the box with your IPV3 is not for charging. It is for upgrading. They actually have a 165 watt upgrade that you can get from somewhere. Okay, so you would plug that into there and go through whatever process you'd have to go through for that. I'm not going to upgrade it. I can't see a reason in the world why I would. Though I love chucking clouds, and I probably will get into higher wattages than 30 watts for sure. I definitely want to try other sub-ohm tanks, and eventually I want to get into rebuilding. I won't need this ever, but it's there, and I just keep it right in the box. It also comes with your authenticity, and you'll get a stamp, a quality control pass, and the number of the person that passed it. It's going to come inside here is going to give you tips. This device is not suitable for children, as we know. It also, women who are pregnant or breastfeeding shouldn't be using that, or a person at risk for heart disease, hypertension, or diabetes, or taking medicine for depression and asthma. This unit may include really small parts, and those screws are small. When you go to change your batteries, maybe get a plate or an old Frisbee or something with edges, so that when you are unscrewing it with this little guy, that when it's time to take them out, that you don't lose it on the floor. It's going to be, if you have carpet, you probably won't find it again. If you have wood floors and there's any spaces in between the wood, you might not be able to find it again until you hear it come up into your vacuum or whatever and whatnot. So there are very small parts. Charge your batteries when the power level is below 10%. You are going to be able to see this. You can see where my battery's at about a quarter of the way. A few more, during this video, I'm not going to change the batteries. However, I will be after for my nighttime vape. You have the markings for where the positive goes and the negative goes. Keep your eye on that. It also has reverse battery protection on this. Really awesome. You're going to see inside where the battery deck is some glue. It's going to almost feel like it's something melted. Nothing melted. That's the way they all look. It's just the way it is. I'm not sure if that's really super bad. I've seen other videos with other mods where that doesn't exist. It doesn't affect the performance. That's the thing. These guys took such good care of this unit. The only scratches that are on it are the ones I've given it. Okay? I was really, really impressed with that. There are no plastic covers. Oh, wait, maybe there is. Oh, my God. I don't want to hurt anything. One thing here, let me see. So you got your little manual. Just remember, these guys aren't even attempting to speak perfect English, so use your common sense, please. And there's some bullshit in here that's not true. Number 5, charging. When charging the cable to get the IPV charged, when it is charging, the red light will be on. Once it gets fully charged, the red light will be off. You are not using the USB to charge this thing. Okay? You're not. Don't do that. There is a little hole right there. You see that? It almost looks like a 9-volt hole. Don't put anything in it. No one can really quite figure out. I'm trying to think that they produce these. This is, I think, the common consensus of this. When Pioneer For You made these, they made a bunch of the boxes before they finished the specifications. Okay? This used to be a touch sensor, I guess, on the old IPV. It's not working. It's not attached. It's in the chip. Don't worry about it. Ignore that. This supposedly was supposed to be for some sort of 9-volt charging. Don't believe it. Don't put nothing in there. You will burn your board. You will run into trouble. Don't try to charge this with anything. You take the batteries out and charge your batteries, okay? That's my importantness. Outside of that, ease of use, super easy. This button, it bothers some. I have nothing to compare it to. It just fires for me. I'm happy. I love this. For the first time high watt box mod for me, perfect. It's super plain. It's got like a, I don't know, like a powdered finish. Yeah. A very small engraving of the, see it right there, there we go. Pioneer For You. I like that it's really discreet that way. I mean, everyone's going to know what you got by these little edges that you got here. It's definitely not the Sigelli. I couldn't compare it to it. From what I understand, some people say this is heftier and more durable feeling than the Sigelli. I don't know if that's the truth. What I do know is that when used as directed by reputable people, you are going to be in great shape with this. Do not, like I said, put anything in any of these holes. I'm not sure why that's there. No one can use it. It's a shame they didn't take that out and replace that, but that's part of the major box. I'm not sure if they're, during their production, if they're making a whole nother round because they're popular. People like them. If that's gone or not, I don't know. This is definitely version 1 of the IPV3. And this USB cable is only for updating, even though the directions tell you you can charge it. It's just not true. Don't do it. There's no puff counter or anything like that. I can't get past 5 seconds. I don't know if you can. If you can't, I don't know if it's going to cut off on you at that point. I'm not sure. There are a lot of videos. I'm going to put a few under here for you. I want you to look at a lot of different people's opinions on it. I'll probably give you Rip Trippers. I'm definitely going to give you VSpot Vapes so that you can take a look at this actual unit on the inside. And let's see here, what else? The protection, visual operating system, low voltage protection, low resistance protection, high input voltage warning, output short circuit protection. That's good. Reverse battery protection. That's really good. Temperature overheat protection. So that thing starts getting too hot, it just goes off. Software upgrade, GUI operatable. Let me see. In the other videos, you're going to learn how to operate all these buttons that are here. They're not the same, I guess, as others. For me, it's the same because it's the first one I've ever had, right? Let's see here. Turn on to off is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adjust your wattage. That directions here are correct. So say I'm at 30 watts, right? And I want to go up from there. I click the down button. And then I go up. And I can go to 30.2 or whatnot. I'm just going to go right back to 30 watts. I can click the up button or down button to go down or up. And then hit the fire button. It's all good. It's done. Lucky for me, it's my first one, so all that makes sense to me. If you've had other box mods, the buttons, I guess, are different than they are like on the Sigelli or other particular models like that. Let's see. Press both the plus and negative buttons for 5 seconds to lock your device from unwanted fire. So you can lock it. So say, for instance, I was going out and I wanted to make sure I could chuck clouds wherever I went. I could make sure that this is locked by pressing both of these bottom buttons at the same time, okay? If I wanted to leave it on the counter and I didn't want my granddaughter to pick it up and try to touch a button and something happens, I can lock it. I wouldn't even bother with that. Just keep it out of reach. This doesn't belong anywhere near children, okay? This is not for that. No, none of it. I don't care if it's an ego twist. I don't care if it's an iStick and it looks cute. I don't give a shit what kind of wraps you have on it and how adorable it is or whatever. Keep it away from your kids. If you can't keep it in your hand at all times, keep it in your pocket. If you can't keep it in your pocket, keep it in your room or keep it on top of your refrigerator. Keep it away from the children. This is not a toy. What else? Don't put it in the sun, of course. Don't leave it in your window. Don't leave it in your car with your batteries in it if you live especially in a warm area. Please don't insert the battery backwards. No vapor will be produced when this happens. Don't drop it, throw it, or abuse the device. Just be nice. This product is sold purely for recreational purposes, and the device should not be used while charging. Well, how could you use it while charging? It's impossible to use it while charging because there are no batteries in it when you're charging. Okay, unless you have a matching pair. Another safety feature I want to talk about quick is I have 2 pairs that are married, okay? I've got the Imerins and I've got the EFES. They don't go for anything else. I'm not going to use my EFES in another device, and I'm not going to use my Imerins in another device. Let me tell you something awesome. Another plus. Thank you for putting up with my blabbering. I keep my batteries in a separate box with the packaging. I always store them in the original packaging, so I have my little EFES here. I have on here IPV, so I remember that as my collection of batteries and whatnot grows. I keep the screws and the screw for that particular product in this little box, and I lock it away. I think I got some juice in this. And I put it over here. Boom. Not in the sun, not anywhere dangerous. When you have fully charged batteries in this, and you have another pair backed up, you are good to go. Fully charged battery will take you, at me, 12 hours of vaping. So say, when I change these batteries out today, and I'll be changing them out relatively soon, I'll be able to vape on them until I go to sleep. Not a problem. And probably go through, you know, a little over a third, and then be able to continue vaping on it the next night and charge the other ones and I'm going to say that 2 fully charged 18650s, you're going to get 12 hours of vape time out of. You can take this with you. You can bring this with you if you're a dripper, if you're normally using atomizers that you're making your own coil builds, and you put an Atlantis or some sort of sub-ohm tank on it, you're going to be able to fill that tank. You're going to be able to, you will go through many more tanks of juice on an Atlantis than you will batteries on this guy. Many more. Vapor production is great. It's a dependable machine. And I could tell you that I am so fucking excited that I won this and that this is the first box mod I've ever had. This has been a great experience. So fantastic. And the guys over at VSpot Vapes, my dog's starting to whine because it's time to feed them, are just absolutely wonderful. I'm going to put their link directly to this product so that you can purchase it from them if you so choose. They gave me, now if you buy this, I don't think you're going to be getting extra batteries or anything like that. But these guys, I just want to give you my experience with this contest that I won. They sent me 2 2500 MOFLAT top 18650 40 amps. Okay, 40 amps. So that's freaking awesome. And they also sent me 2 juices, which you've seen reviews for. I just can't get over how awesome these guys are. They sent me a personal note with it, and I love that. And they're really great. They have a great YouTube channel. They have a great store on the internet that I absolutely love, and I want you to go over there and check them out. And if you're in the market for a box mod and you want some of that China high power, this just, I can't see you going wrong with this. I just can't see it being wrong. The only thing I'm thinking is because it doesn't have a battery for the back, that's all I can think of for that. I believe there are tons of videos about how to make batteries, make magnets for the back. I don't know. But if you don't like extra holes, I don't know if you should do that. The only problems I can see with this are aesthetics. Having this non-firing touch button and having this hole that you can't use and shouldn't use, and there's no idea what you're supposed to put in there. And the other downside is them saying when you're charging this, you're not charging that. That is not a charging USB. Don't do that. You don't treat 18650 batteries like that. I can't even imagine that you would. So don't do that. Mm-mm. Use your common sense. Change the little screws if you prefer the other kind. Otherwise, you know, just treat it nicely. I haven't had to change them out yet. I don't have the collection of little blue screwdrivers either, so I'm kind of excited that this didn't do what I saw on everyone else's video. It seems like they put it in there and it is, you know, comes apart. One guy had his screwdriver all bent up. I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on there. You're going to be spending anywhere, you can find this on the internet, anywhere from $99 to $150 and more. If you're spending money on equipment, don't treat it bad. Be nice, even if you win it. I've got one scratch I'm looking at right here that I'm like, God damn, I can't believe I scratched that. I got a little scratch. I did that scratch. You can't even see it. Guys, that is really nice. I enjoy that a lot. So I now have equipment that when it's time for me to learn rebuildables, it's time for me to get deeper, I'm already ready. I'm ready for it. So that makes me really happy. If that's something that you want to do, you want to be able to put one of these sub-ohm tanks on, This is okay. You're just not going to go over what the tank can handle. It's common sense, okay? Kind of like, you remember when I told you the story about what I did with this Nautilus Mini on this guy? And I had no idea about that stuff. And I learned. And I learned the hard way, and I paid attention, and I was very careful with this guy. So, you know, you don't do what the tank can't handle. Right now, today's vaping is going at 10. For whatever reason. I'm just feeling like 10 on there. This is always at 30. When I go lower than 30, I don't feel like I get enough for me. So I'm sticking with the factory recommendations at the max. That's a beautiful vape. I love high watts. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you're in the market for a high-powered box mod, IPV3 150 watt is beautiful. I'm also going to put in another video link underneath from VSpot Vapes. This happens to be Josh's favorite, or at least it sure feels like it's his favorite, and that would be the IPV, the Yeehee SX Mini. This guy, it can sub-ohm as well. So if you want something a little smaller, that would be something you might want to look at. And I will put his review on that in there as well. I'm not here trying to confuse you, but I'm saying if you know that you're never going to go any higher than 60 watts, you might as well not get the big box. If you know that you just might be building stuff that you want to go crazy with. This is a great box. And as far as me comparing it to others, I can't. But I can tell you as a brand new person, I feel safe with it. I feel good with it. Ease of use is awesome. I just paid attention. I did my research like you should be doing with everything you purchase, whether it's a mech mod, a twist battery, or a iStick. Okay? Whether it goes, you know, it's variable voltage to variable wattage, whether it's 20 watts to 150 watts, you need to pay attention. I really like that it's a regulated box mod and that it's got a lot of power and that I can grow with this in my vaping experience and really kind of figure out where I really am and where I'd really be at. You know, I see a lot of people out there, they vape normally at 40 to 50 watts. At this point, I can't even imagine it. However, am I going to try that? Yeah, I'm going to try that. You bet. Once I get to that place. Now I know I have the equipment in order to take me there. That makes me happy. One more for you, and then we're going to fade to cloud. That's the word I want to use. So I have to try and use my left hand.